Your work was surprisingly good.
Paul Shechtman catchphrase is definitely, "Oh, Wendy Romney."
Oh my lord.
Happy birthday, Paul.
I think Paul's favorite food is peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. He always asks for those when he's by the conference room.
Well, I think everybody knows that Paul's favorite food is kale salad.
I think Paul just looks at all the food available and picks the food that is most likely to stain his shirt.
Kale salad.
So what is Paul's favorite food? It has to be anything with sugar. I have a drawer full of candy, and I supply Paul with his afternoon fix of any kind of sugar. So I think that's what makes him happiest, and it's his favorite food.
Kale from Yale. Oh, you still got it. Makes Paul really happy is beating my daughter at a race.
Candy and sharing the accomplishments of Bonnie and his dog. His entire suit at the Zuckerman Christmas party, all of its contents, and he had to wear a Marine costume for the rest of the night.
My favorite Paul Shechtman joke is, what did the lawyer name his daughter? Sue.
So my favorite Paul Shechtman joke, because he knows what a good joke teller I am, is the one about the guy who walks into the bar with an urn and a little piano guy on his shoulder. And MJ's shaking her head. She knows this one. And the bartender says, "So what's with the urn?" And the guy says, "Well, you get a wish, rub it and see what you think." And the guy says, "Really?" So the bartender says, and the guy says, "Give it a shot." So the bartender rubs it, makes a wish, and the bar fills up with 100 ducks, or 1,000,000 ducks. And the guy says, "I didn't wish for 1,000,000 ducks." And the guy who walked in the bar, that's what the bartender said, "See, I'm really bad at this." And then the guy says, "Yeah, you think I wished for a 10-inch pianist?"
Happy birthday, Paul. I've been asked what my favorite joke of yours is, and it's the cocaine everything bagel joke. Brief correction to my statement earlier. It's actually the heroin or the opioid everything bagel joke that then involves cocaine and other drugs later. So for the record, thank you. And happy birthday.
So my first day of work, I was looking forward to meeting the famous Paul Shechtman, and I was walking by a conference room, and I just heard, "Get the out of my office!" And I came to learn that he deserved it.
So my first impression of Paul Shechtman is he's a generous, magnanimous soul. In fact, I even have something that Paul gifted me early on in our relationship. It was a really special edition of Rudy 1984. It is Paul's roving report of a celebration of Rudy Giuliani. And what can I say? I watch it often. Very, very often. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is to sit there and say, happy birthday to you, Paul Shechtman. Thank you for everything you do and keeping us smiling and laughing here at Bracewell. Love you.
So the weirdest thing I've ever seen Paul eat was when he came into my office one day, and I had a half-eaten Una bar sitting on my desk because I was having breakfast or lunch or something. Paul just came over and he took it and he took a bite and he put it back down and he left. And that was the weirdest eating experience. Although I've shared many things to eat, many snacks with Paul. So that's the weirdest one.
So I have a couple of Paul
Shechtman stories. One is based on the reaction of when you joined the firm. Most people said, "Who are all these women? Who's this guy? And who's all these women that he came with?" So one was from Special Services. He said, "I don't know who this guy is, but he came with nothing but women." That was the first comment. And then the other was from attorneys, and they said, "This guy is really charming, and he came with all these women." It's like, what kind of charm does this guy have that he has all these women following him around from firm to firm? So, and I told them don't be jealous, because they were obviously very jealous. But I want to take this time to just thank you for being who you are. You're very helpful. You give free legal advice sometimes. You always know the right thing to say, whether hard times, good times. You give us free tacos, breakfast tacos, and you run around with my granddaughter when she visits. So it's all much appreciated. Thank you so much.
So, Paul Shechtman, quite a fellow. When asked about what my favorite story of Paul is, there's so many to choose from. I've known Paul for 31 years. The story I'm going to tell is a more recent story. It goes back about 4 or 5 years, and I think it tells the true story of Paul Shechtman. So when we were recruiting Paul to join Bracewell, he was obviously a reluctant fellow to do so, mostly because it's hard to pin him down to do anything. And so it came time for him to come to the, what is required, trip to Houston, Texas. He missed the first trip altogether, so we had to do a second trip. I insisted upon accompanying him on that trip. I literally drove to his home, parked my car outside, so that when he left his apartment, probably going someplace else, instead he had to go into my car and to the airport, and off we went. We got on the airplane, and Paul turns to me and says, "I have a brief due shortly. Would you mind if I worked during the flight?" I said, "I don't care. I'm only here to get you." For the next 3.5 hours during the flight, I watched Paul, with a legal pad of paper, handwrite about 50 pages of text, filling an entire pad of paper. But what I noted about this, I found fascinating, is while he was writing, he was actually including cites to specific cases in support of his brief. I thought the whole thing was really interesting. When we landed, he said to me, "Would it be possible to have an associate cite check these?" I said, "Of course, we're a big firm. Forget about ethics and confidentiality and what have you." But so we had our special services type up the brief, and then we had an associate site check it. The associate came back about 3.5 hours later and said every single site was exactly right except for one page number in one of the sites. And I tell that story about Paul because, you know, as an attorney, or as somebody who's been around a long time like myself, you meet an awful lot of smart, gifted, intelligent people. But very, very rarely do you meet someone at the next level. And Paul Shechtman is very much at that next level. He is the type of person who can come into a situation and see things that others can't see, and basically remembers everything he learned, which is really quite remarkable. I saw that as a young assistant district attorney when we both started in the Manhattan DA's office back in the late 80s. He as counsel to the DA and me as a young assistant. And I've seen it every day that I've been, that I've known him, and especially the last couple of years as his colleague, which is wonderful. So, the question is, what would Paul Shechtman be if he wasn't a lawyer? I think the answer to that is quite clear. He would be a wildly unsuccessful and frequently out of work stand-up comic. And if that didn't work, he would double back part-time as a rabbi who loves to tell stories.
I think Paul would be a good man.
If Paul was not a lawyer, what would he be? I think he would be very well suited to be a carnival barker. I could see him out with the striped hat out in Coney Island, just going, "Step right up, everybody! Try this game of chance." Happy birthday, Paul.
There once was a partner named Paul. He's the smartest and richest of all, because when he tries to be funny, we pay him hush money, so back to the bank we will crawl.
There once was a lawyer named Paul. His writing's more of a scrawl. Maggie puts him on mute when his anger's acute, and he's known to golf in the hall.
Do you know Paul Shechtman? Come now. Come on. Of course you do. Yes, say many New Yorkers. I found his phone, his calendar. What about you? Nice to see you, say again, be good are just a few of the catchphrases that make you you. The stories, the memories are glorious too. Your wisdom, knowledge, and prowess always ensue. For 22 years, you've been my boss, my mentor, my friend. Every day has been a pleasure, always with a thank you at the end.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday, Paul. Happy birthday, Paul. Birthday, Paul. Birthday, Paul. Happy birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday, Paul. Birthday, Paul. Birthday, Paul.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Paul Shechtman, I want to thank you so much for bringing your beautiful spirit to our office. You brighten every single day here, and you are so special. And I hope you have the most happy birthday.
Paul is a great boss. He's really funny, and I have always been a fan of the Brown suit. Is there a bleep button?